welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Everything Horror Podcast. My name is Paul Dolsky with the lovely fiance,
Tessa Baker.
And, well, we got another guest joining us tonight, and you may remember him from, actually, our first interview of 2019, actually, and all the way back in January. And that was when we were talking about Unearthed, the Curse of the Nephthys. I think I did pronounce that right, but
yeah, you got it.
Sweet. And without further ado, welcome back to Beau Yotty. Welcome back, Beau.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Paul and Tessa, for having me.
We're glad to have you, Beau.
So, Beau, you just released your latest film, Desert Wolf, which came out in October 25th, I believe, if memory serves me right. I know at first it came out on, I don't really know how you pronounce it, like Vimeo?
On Vimeo. Yeah, video on demand.
Yep, and then I think it was like the next day or so, it was on Amazon, and you also have pre-orders up for it on your own Gunslinger sites, too. So it's pretty much all over the place now, I think, right?
Yeah, it is. We have a couple international sales agents that are interested, but right now it's just here in the U.S. Oh, I take that back, and the U.K. I think it's on Amazon in the United Kingdom as well. But wow. We're pretty happy. We're getting some good responses, so it's always a good sign when people aren't not viewing it. You know what I mean? At least you're getting people to watch it, and so far we've gotten some great feedback. And thank you guys too for reviewing, taking the time to watch and review the film.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, we actually watched it again last night just so we could get a refresher too before we started to talk with you. So it was still good.
You sat through it twice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we'll probably see it more time because, to be fair, I did actually pre-order a DVD from you guys today.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're very welcome.
That makes you family. I believe the close family and friends and a few others have ordered it so far, so that definitely makes you family.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, we consider you family too. So if anybody gives you shit, me and Tessa will deal with them. We'll
nice,
take them in the back alley and show them who's boss.
I'll send them your way. Head up to Vermont.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Tell them, come up to Vermont, and then they're going to look at the weather and be like, yeah, screw that. Negative weather. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's Vermont. What can you expect? And then plus where we are, we're like kind of in the area of where we're almost surrounded by mountains too. So you can only imagine like the wind and stuff, how it can kind of come into play with that. Even though it's like a big wide area, but even though there's mountains surrounding us, still doesn't help.
Yeah, I hear you. It's not going to help with the temperature.
No. But, Beau, real quick, so what can you tell us about what is Desert Wolf?
Well, as you know, I'm a big fan of the 80s genre horror films. And a lot of them were set, in those small towns that kind of give it that small town creepy feel. And with this movie, we wanted to capture that small town feel and then dive into well known, I guess, of course, but a werewolf is hunting the poor little small town people and kind of trying to figure out as they go. One of my favorite films is Silver Bullet by Stephen King, and that was kind of set in a small town as well, and it was kind of a whodunit as well as a horror movie all the way through till the end. That was something I really enjoyed, so that was a little bit of inspiration behind this film.
Yeah, Silver Bullet is wicked good movie, and I almost every time I think of the word bullet, for some reason I always go back to Riding the Bullet, which is completely different Stephen King film. But yeah, Silver Bullet is also very nice too. So, and that
Yeah.
I guess because of that bullet word, you kind of just get confused with the title sometimes. I don't know. I don't know why I always
Yeah.
go to the Riding with the Bullet one, but all of them, I've seen too many Stephen King films anyway. And then now, as you know, probably, well, you've seen it a few times now. We got some Stephen King movie remakes and reboots or whatever you want to call it. And then we got that new one for Dr. Sweet.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That one's, I don't know, I haven't brought myself to watch it yet because I'm a huge fan of The Shining. I don't know if I can do it. Maybe later on I'll watch it.
From what I hear, it's way better than The Shining, actually. So,
Yeah,
whatever that means.
yeah, whatever that means.
But,
But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. I
yeah,
heard the
well,
book is great.
say what?
I heard the book for the
Oh,
film is
yeah.
great. Yeah.
Oh, well, usually the book is always better than a movie anyway, too, because, since movies are on a time frame, I guess, it's almost like, well, how much information can you squeeze into a hour and 30-minute film? But then again, I don't even know how long Dr. Sleep is, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. It's
But
tough to go up against the book.
yeah, exactly. But usually the book always wins anyway. I mean,
That's for sure. Yeah.
I mean, like, I'll just say this, and then we can go back into Desert Wolf. But like, I remember when World War Z was coming out, and I was just like,
Mhm.
how are they gonna take that? Because of like, I read the book of World War Z, which was phenomenal. And it's just like, how can they even turn that into a movie? And then I watch it, and I'm just like, it's not bad, but it's I don't know. It kind of weaved me with that weird. Do I want to say like taste in the mouth? I don't even know what to call it right now. It's
Yeah.
just more like I don't really know what to think of it.
And they had a lot of production difficulties making that film too.
That's what I heard. I just didn't really hear too much about it. But then again, I was just more like, yeah, I should have just left it at the book. But what do I know? But yeah, speaking of your throwback to the 1980s, you can clearly see that with your film where, like, as Tessa and I saw with the, even the beginning with how you only showed so much of the monster, the creature at first, with just like his hand with his claws and stuff. You didn't really go full blown seeing it until the end, of course, which is where we see a nice little thing going on without saying too much too for people that may not see it. But we do see like a really nice little scene near the end.
Yeah, we had a reveal. It was tough, not showing the full creature till that end scene, but I think it was worth it. I like those, like they did it with Jaws, and they did it in all those old school movies where they wouldn't show the beast until they got towards the end.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of those, and it just makes you even wonder too. Like even the one that you don't really see, but something's going on. It just makes the imagination run wild, which is, I think, what I also said in the review. Is like it actually just gives it enough imagination where you can let it run wild anyway.
Yeah, and you can't compete with the imagination of the viewer, no matter
That's
what you
right.
do. So I agree 100%.
Yeah, and then you probably well, have anybody yet, Bo, with Desert Wolf say anything about like oh well they should have showed more of the werewolf or anything? Just out of
Not
curiosity.
yet.
No. Oh,
Yeah, no,
okay.
not yet.
Okay. Well, that's good. So once again, too, with Desert Wolf, just like you did with Unearthed, you actually looked for local talent in the area, which was Arizona. And
Yeah.
so, how did you go about finding the right people there? Especially, did you look into like the local businesses around there to help be part of the film as well?
Yeah, a huge help in the making of this film was the town of Florence, which is it's the small town. It's about an hour and a half outside of Phoenix, and we spoke with the mayor, and then over to the media side of the town, and they were very gracious with us. They helped us. They made everything possible to be there in the in the street, and basically we had a lot of access to all parts of the town. So we couldn't have done it without them. So I really appreciate the town of Florence. And as far as the actors, yeah, we did a local casting here. It took a couple months maybe, and yeah, I'm happy with everyone's performance on there. The guy who I don't know, we know, because making the films, you see things that are not on screen. So the character of Tuttle, played by John Carr, he was supposed to, well, he is. His character is, a little devious, but it's so funny, some of his reactions and stuff like that. I got a big kick out of him and everyone. I'm just happy with everyone's performance.
How did you come up with the concept for this film, Beau?
Well, I wanted to do a werewolf. I'm a huge werewolf film fan, and I thought, what can we do that's, it's because I don't know, just try to find something different. So I went for what can we sit in the desert and tell a story that kind of keeps you guessing throughout the entire film instead of just, oh, there's a beast, we know where it is, we want to go kill it. So I wanted to get a little bit of mystery behind, little suspense into the werewolf genre, and this is what we came up with.
That's very cool. I'm also a big werewolf movie fan as well, like The
Very
Howling
cool.
and uh, Blood and Chocolate and some other ones, but Howling is definitely, the whole Howling franchise is definitely ranking top in my list
Yeah,
of
yeah.
I like. But yours was great. I was very happy with it. Like, I was talking to Paul about it last night after we got done watching it, and I'm like, wow. I was like, I'm proud of Beau. He did really great with this.
Well, I appreciate it because that's the toughest thing, to have a werewolf fan watch the movie. That creates the most anxiety. Because someone doesn't like werewolves, it's whatever. But someone who actually likes werewolves and they appreciate the movie, that's a compliment. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, besides the Hound, I'm also a big fan of the Dog Soldier film.
Oh yeah, Dog Soldiers, that's a good one. That is up there.
Oh yeah,
It might be number one. I don't know though. My favorite is American Werewolf in London. I don't know why, but something about that film. Maybe I watched it when I was a kid too many times. I don't know.
no, that's a good one too. And there's way too many werewolf films for me to even go down. Like, there was one we saw a month or so ago. It was called like Bone Hill Road, and that was a nice werewolf film too. Very nice practical effects too as well. And I would recommend that one too, Bo. But
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. Let me
yeah,
write
I'll
it down
send
here.
you
Bone Hill Road.
Bone Hill Road. Yep,
All
Bone
right,
Hill is like one word, I believe.
got it.
But
I'm gonna watch it
Bo,
for sure.
there you go. It's what were some of the uh, challenges though that you guys face when trying to film Desert Wolf?
Well, the biggest challenge we have is no one's fault. Since we're not, we did local actors, and some people have, well, most everyone has the day job, of course. So the scheduling to get to the small town where everyone was available at the same time was really difficult. It added at least 4 months to production just to get everyone on set at the same time when when we needed to be. That was the biggest setback. The weather cooperated. That was good. But yeah, just getting everyone there was very difficult.
Wow. Well, I wish that was the only problem, it sounds like. But there was nothing else wrong, like any shot had to be redone, or I don't know. I'm trying to think of something like the light bulb burst in the flame.
Well, we did have an issue with our sound equipment filming the finale. Actually, we're filming the finale, and the sound equipment cord snapped off inside the microphone. Guess we're getting a little crazy. I don't know, but so we had to get our backup mic going. It wasn't as good, and I can tell exactly where it happened. Hopefully, not too many people can tell, but it that was a big one. That was the final finale shooting night too, so it was important. But we made it through, and that's the film business. You keep going.
Yeah, that's true. I know Tessa and I noticed some audio things after we were watching it again, but it wasn't like too bad, but like there was somewhere it was like, oh man, it was you and you were talking to, oh man, I need to start remembering names again. So horrible with names. It was the lady that gave you the necklace for protection. You guys were like talking, and there was supposed to be like, yeah, and there was supposed to be like, I think it was like background noise of some sort. But when it would cut to you, there would be like complete silence, and it would just be like your voice, like there was not a fly in the room or something, and then it would cut back to her, and it sounded like there was a crowded room or something. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, the mic was my lab mic was a little too close to me. It didn't catch anything else.
I guess so.
Yeah, at least, like, of course, it's not perfect film. There are definitely audio situations, but I'm happy with the end. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, because I watched that and I'll cringe a little, like, that hurts.
Yeah, there were like a few moments that I caught on to that, but like, it doesn't really take you out. It's just more like, oh, this is weird, but I mean, otherwise,
a little Band-Aid on there for a second.
Yeah, right. Put a little Band-Aid, you'll be fine. Now, what made me think of this film too with you is with Unearthed. So, was there any type of, well, there had to have been with the like the werewolf myths and mythology stuff that was going on in the film too. But was there any sort of I don't know if I want to say local lore, or was there just like folklore going on? Because it did seem like there was something going on with like a lore, and I didn't know if it was like a local lore there, or if you just kind of just took it because of like the tribe and stuff that was going on, or the tribe talk about the werewolf, like the skinwalker and all that stuff. So I was just curious, like, did you once again kind of just want to put in some sort of folklore?
I did. So I researched the Navajo Indians, and the Hopi Indians, and they have a huge belief, I guess, in the skinwalker legends, where members of their tribe would just disappear, and they'd turn into some type of animal, whether it's a coyote or the stuff I researched, it varied. It was sometimes a coyote, sometimes another beast. But they definitely have that part of their folklore. It was very interesting. I thought about just doing a Skinwalker movie because it doesn't necessarily have to be a werewolf or a dog.
Exactly.
And they have all kinds of powers. They can disappear, appear over here, hunt you down, not be seen. So maybe I'd look in a little deeper in just the Skinwalker. I don't know. But yeah, I did a lot of research in trying to figure out that folklore. Pretty interesting. And with the thing too, I spoke to some Native Americans. They don't like to talk about it. So, it's definitely something there.
You actually talked to some people, some Indians that actually didn't mind talking about them? Oh my God.
Yeah, they said they don't feel comfortable speaking about it.
Wow. Yeah. Could usually they won't talk about that stuff.
Yeah, and certain regions they won't even go to. It's northern Arizona and southern Utah. I guess there's a huge mountain area where they just don't even want to go because of the skinwalkers.
Oh, I think I know. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I wonder if that's the same place that I'm thinking of anyway. Yeah, where I've heard a story where like these people went to try to find like Bigfoot in a way, but like I don't know if this is the same area, but this reminds me of this type of story anyway. But they talked to the local like Indian tribe there, and they were asking them about this like specific mountain, I guess, or something, but the Indians would only take them so far up the mountain, and then they pretty much said like, if you go anymore, you're gonna be in like, the danger territory, and
and no thanks.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh, because I guess according to like what they were saying and trying to tell the people that were trying to look for Bigfoot or whatever, they were saying like, yeah, like because you probably heard the old saying where how Indian tribe used to trade and talk with the Bigfoot, and then and then there's some Bigfoots where like they stay away from because they're so nasty and everything else, but like that's kind of like how I took this. So it's almost like the Bigfoot told the Indians like, if you cross this line, you're gonna be in our territory type of thing. So that's the way I always took that story. I'm just wondering if that's the same area.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was researching it, I didn't come across Bigfoot in this area, but I don't know, because there's a lot of legends out there.
Oh, it's crazy how many legends are everywhere. But I think that was the one cool thing that I liked about Desert Wolf 2 is that you guys brought a werewolf to the desert, and I'm actually been trying to think if there's any werewolf movie that were actually in a desert, but I could not even think of anything because like everything else was either like in like in a city, town, woods, some certain road or something. We gotta even look at the old classic Wolfman from like the Universal Monsters and stuff like that, and like it's just I don't know. I just couldn't figure out anything. So if that's unique in any way, then bravo, Beau, because I can't think of anything.
And we couldn't find one either. When I was trying to think of the title, what I wanted to, call the film, I did a lot of research on that too, just naming and seeing what else is out there, and I couldn't find another werewolf desert film either. So I thought, oh, this is kind of cool.
Hey, it makes it that much easier.
Huh?
I said it makes it that much easier.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. And like you said, there's nothing to compare it to, so.
At least I couldn't figure out anything, so. And
I couldn't either. I looked.
yeah, and I'm usually pretty good at like my films, sort of, I guess. But you'd think with the amount of werewolf film, you would be like, "Oh yeah, I know it. I know there's one in this one." But no, I couldn't even do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And
brownie points right there.
I wanted to incorporate more of the desert too, but like I said, the difficulties of getting everyone on set at the same time cut back on a couple of things I wanted to do to show more of the desert and the isolation. I wanted to capture some of that isolation because if you go to some of these areas in the desert, there's nothing. And if you come face to face with a werewolf in the middle of the desert and there's nothing, you don't have a whole lot of hope.
Yeah, no, because you're gonna run out of thirst before you even probably find the nearest town or something, really, because a desert can go on for miles, if not days, just kind of like the what is that? The Texas desert, right? Is the Texas desert that I'm thinking of is one of the like the largest.
Texas is a drive. You drive through Texas, you drive through nothing but desert for miles and miles.
Yeah. All right, so maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just
we also have. I don't know if you noticed those the mountains. I had them there in Unearthed too. They're called the Superstition Mountains. They're here in Arizona, and their mystique about them were hikers. You know, the local. I don't know what they call treasure hunters and stuff like that are experienced and they make their living out there. There's certain areas of those mountains that they say are haunted and they don't want to go in there either. So they have that in the background.
Cool. The shot where you kind of show where you're kind of coming in with the town with the cactuses and the mountains are in the background, and I believe we see it again, but you're like reversing the shot near the end.
Yeah. Superstitions.
I like that shot. But that's very interesting. Was there anything, Bo, too, that you guys shot or even so let's start with this one first. So was there any type of footage that you shot that you didn't actually include into the film?
Yeah, we had, I don't know, 3 or 4 scenes, full scenes that we shot that we didn't include in the film. Not for anything that went wrong. It just didn't move the story forward.
So it wasn't that important.
Yeah, and it was just more kind of saying the story instead of telling the story with visual. So I decided to go with the approach of not boring people, just in case.
Well, that's a pretty good decision, I would think, because the longer you drag on, the more less attention span there is too, as well.
Especially nowadays, everyone wants it bam, bam, right now. So
yeah, isn't that something? It's I blame technology. Really, it's with that whole
without a doubt.
With the cell phone thing, because it's very interesting. I was listening to this other show that I recently found, and I love listening to this guy. He's all the way from the UK, and the podcast is called The Unexplained with Howard Hughes. But he had a special guest on, and he wrote this book about technology, how it's like taking control of our lives, and it's more about like how to get back control of our lives. And he makes some very interesting points about how our time span used to be pretty good until we had cell phones in our hand. Now it's like we don't have enough time to watch something or even really get the right social skills without having to check our phones and stuff like that. And interesting thing, which I don't do this, but it was really interesting to hear. But I guess like how did he word it? You lose more attention when you're actually waiting in line at a store because waiting in line, waiting to check out sometimes can make you want to check your emails and phone or your email, text, and whatever while you're waiting to check out. And even then, you're still looking at your phone while you're checking out too. So he was going into like this big thing how like people lose the time span of even trying to watch a film because it's like we can't even put down our we can't put down our phones long enough to even watch either a TV show or film without having to either pause it and look at our phone, or we just look at the phone while the movie's going and completely miss what's going on in the movie. It's a very interesting interview, but you know, when I was kind of watching this too, and when I remembered watching like Unearthed, where I was kind of confused of what was going on with Unearthed, and I think I even mentioned that when we first talked to you too. That's why we were asking you like, so what was going on? Please help us explain why was there repeating themes. This one, it was just more like here's this, here's that, boom, boom. It was just like the pacing was good, so it kept my attention span. So to go back to what I was saying to kind of tie this in is like I didn't lose interest to want to look at my phone is what I'm trying to say. But like even though I don't, I try my best, I should say. But like if my phone blows up like 5 or 6 times in a row, I'm like, okay, what is going on? And then I'll look at it, of course. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting interview. But
yeah,
I mean,
I agree 100% with that. And that makes it different for filmmakers now too, because in the back of your mind, whether it should be or not, it's there. You know, is the person going to lose attention if I let this scene roll out for 10 seconds or even 5 seconds? Because you might lose them just in that 10 or 20 seconds, and they start checking their phone. They don't watch the rest of the movie, like you said. So,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how they watch like all the classics and stuff. Those things used to be, a film was what, 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah, depending on what it was. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess, like I said, I'm just blaming technology because we were all fine until we started getting the higher upgrades, as the guy actually calls them, like the higher upgrade. Because every time we go into the quote future, our technology always upgrades. So
And we get less human, like you said. No social skills. I don't know. We're not acting like people anymore for some reason.
Right, exactly. But to go back to Beau so how long did writing Desert Wolf take you, and do you remember how many drafts you had to go through?
Maybe a couple months. The total from beginning to end, and I went through about 4 or 5 edits, fixing little things here, trying to make it smooth as possible. But after that, I kind of just want to get out there and shoot it, because if you keep editing, you'll edit forever.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Nothing is well enough. Oh no, we can add this here and add this here. But that was a good thing too about the fact that we had permission to film in Florence, Arizona, was they gave us, a time frame, like, hey, you can film here to here, so no more playing around with the script. Let's go.
Wow. Why did you need to get permission?
Yeah, because, well, we had guns on our hips and stuff like that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I get them. I guess everywhere has their own. I guess I'll just say laws for lack of wording, but yeah, it's interesting. It's always. I mean, when I hear sometimes people got to get permission to do this or do that, I'm just always curious because it's just, it's just always one of those things where it just could just be that one weird thing, and it's just like, really, like that's what you need permission for. I mean, if it's something like let's say you wanted to, and I don't know if you even thought of this, maybe this is one of the ideas that you had, but because of like what you were mentioning before with the production, you couldn't really do it. Which is like, did you think, or did you also have an idea of possibly filming, like, as the Indian tribe would call it, their sacred land?
I never really thought about actually going there because we had so much, around us that we wouldn't have needed to. But if I was closer to it, I definitely would have tried to ask and find out for sure.
Yeah, cool.
That all depends on the city itself and the area. Like California, forget it. You got to get permission to do anything. Arizona, for the most part, unless you're like in downtown Phoenix or something, everyone will work with you for the most part. There's certain things that won't, but you can always find somewhere else that will.
Well, that's always a plus.
Yeah.
Now, the werewolf stuff that we kind of saw like at the beginning, and I think a little bit near the end, I believe too. Who made the practical costumes and props and stuff?
We went theatrical prop hunting throughout the valley here in Arizona. We got some stuff, like antique shops and stuff like that. The makeup was done by a local makeup person here, but that was just your average run-of-the-mill purchase from what is the makeup website online? I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but we ordered it online, the prosthetic and that stuff, and the local makeup artist put it together for us. Makeup by Alyssa was, I believe that was her name, well, her company's name, and she did a good job. The claws and stuff, I think we got that from an online costume wardrobe department too. I believe so.
So pretty much none of you guys made it, so you ended up buying it by supporting other people's work. So that's good too. So.
Yeah, we had to buy some stuff. I was thinking, I don't know, for the final reveal, I don't know, I wanted to make it more human, like the Wolfman, Because we see all those other things in every movie, and I don't know, that looks like it's going to hunt me down and murder me in half a second. So I thought maybe it was like a humanish looking wolf. I might have a chance to fight back. So that's why we wanted to go that route.
Well,
the other ones would just squash you in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, because they've been a werewolf for years upon years, which kind of make me wonder if there was even some sort of telling in a way, but I don't know if I even want to really ask the question, but I'm trying to figure out. So, okay, I'm going to do my best to try not to say too much, and that's going to be, so when you were writing the script and filming, I guess, because we got to see a little bit more of the main beast, I'm going to say,
Mm-hmm.
Was there any type of idea you and him, because the main beast, you could definitely tell had more features than what you had. So
Yeah.
I guess in a way, was there any type of what's the word? Was there any type of hmm oh God, was there any type of way to know exactly how long this main beast was actually a beast?
Yeah, that's difficult. That's for the viewer to decide. Because
Ah,
with the talisman and everything, it prevented certain things from happening to my character, and the other one didn't have a talisman, so it's kind of at the will of the curse, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. But some people did ask me that though. They said, "Are we going to get a backstory on how the beast came about?" Like, no, that's a little too much. I don't know.
I was gonna say, usually we don't want to do that because look what happened to Alien. We got a
Exactly. Yeah,
backstory, and look what happened.
yeah. Leave well enough alone. That's all right.
Exactly. I mean, we don't even have an imagination anymore with Alien because it pretty much got answered for us. So now we don't even have, well, we have questions, but not like what we used to, which is,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I don't
And
like when
now,
they do that.
yeah, I wasn't really a fan, but especially when I watched Prometheus and all that, it's just like, first of all these characters need to shut up, let us enjoy the environment at least, and like, we bring in people that are more smarter than these people are, clearly. But yeah,
And that could have been a standalone movie. You wouldn't even need to tie it to the Alien franchise. You know, change the
exactly.
actual beast around a little bit.
Yes, yes. But
Because there were a couple of scenes in there that were pretty crazy, like the what was it? The machine. She hooked herself inside and took the creature out of her. You know,
yep,
man, that's pretty brutal. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, exactly. But when you learn more about that too, Bo, it's just like that was almost the original way they wanted to do Alien to begin with. But they couldn't find a way to make it work, or they didn't want to make it look like it was a rip off of I think it was Star Trek or something. I can't remember right now, but yeah. But no, I completely 100% agree with you is that we don't need no backstory because then the imagination
Yeah,
isn't there anymore.
yeah, I'm with you. Can't have
So
everything given to you. You got to think a little bit here.
yeah, exactly. We all need to have that one type of imagination. Otherwise, everything. Well, actually, this is the new generation. Like we were just saying, like everybody wants everything. Bam, bam, bam. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
um, hmm. I honestly cannot think of anything else right now, Bo. Let me see. Tessa, was there anything else? Actually, I thought of one thing, but I want to see it's I forgot. When I
I
just
don't
thought of.
know. You keep asking him all the stuff that I would ask him. You're really good at reading my mind, I think.
Well, maybe you should start hosting it, and you can start interviewing.
That's an idea for the future.
Yeah, that would be great. Um, I think the only thing I have left, Bo, really to ask right now is there's one particular scene which leads into another scene, sort of thing, that I was curious about. I didn't know if they had any type of story behind it or what, but I was just curious to ask when we see inside of the bar, they were talking
Hmm.
about, or was it? Yeah, maybe it was the bar. They were talking about how this celebrity was coming for this like festival or whatever, and then the way this celebrity acts, which is like on the normal uh she thinks she's better than everybody else, and then when a fan comes up to her, they're like, "Oh, goody goody" and stuff. But then once the fan is gone, she's back to the, well, this is not what I wanted, and I'm better than you attitude. So I was just curious, like, because we do see that nice thing later on, which I'm not gonna say, but like, I'm just curious that specific scene with the celebrity there, was that like anything particular, or was it just there for their just for the engagement?
Yeah, well, yeah, just a little add something to the story and to that was one of the things too. We couldn't get everyone there at the same time. The death scene was going to be larger and more brutal because we don't see certain things happen.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah. So I wanted to set it up where the audience despised her, so they weren't too upset if something happened. But it wasn't really much more than that.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because, and I'm not saying it's everybody, but, that can be how celebrities really are in real life. We go to meet somebody who we, I don't want to say praise, but I guess we either fangirl or fanboy out, right? We finally meet
admire
them.
their work.
Yeah, we admire them. They inspired us or whatever with changing our lives or something. And then when we meet them, it's like, oh, yay. And then when we see them outside of the event or whatever, and we really get to see who they are, it's one of those type of interactions where it's like, oh, well, if this is really what you are like, then yeah, then we don't, then I feel ashamed of myself for being inspired by you and supporting you and all this, and yeah, so I see where you're coming from when it comes to like something like that.
Yeah, but that's good to hear because when I was writing it, I wanted to write something that people would relate to, and I figured, this sounds pretty good. I like this little story.
Oh yeah,
I'll add it in there.
Oh yeah. When she got her moment, I was just like, good. So,
good.
Well, what else can you say to her? Like, take that, you bitch. I mean,
yeah. Hopefully,
Yeah,
everyone was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I was kind of sitting there thinking the same thing. I'm like, wow, what a bitch. I hope she gets hers.
yeah, Jessica did a great job with that. She did a great job.
Everybody did a good job from what I saw.
Very convincing. Everybody did great.
Yes. Now, so Beau, I guess to wrap things up, is there anything that we didn't touch on that you would like to share? And if not, what can we expect from you next year for 2020?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if we anything about the movie. I covered everything, especially in your review. You really went over everything. So I thank you for that. Next year, I'm going to do an action movie, local. I want to do the small town thing again, but it's going to be action. But I don't know which monster I want to take on. I'll do another horror movie next year, but I'm not sure which monster yet. I have to get inspired.
I can send you some Vermont monsters for you.
Yeah, send me some monsters. Maybe we'll have like a 5-year-old toddler who runs around and kills people. I don't know.
Man, we got some very interesting monsters over here. We got Pigman. We got the Loch Ness Monster, of course. We got Bigfoot. We got Dogman. We got a gigantic bat, I believe, somewhere, and a couple other.
The New Jersey Devil or whatever the heck it is. Is that up there in Vermont too?
No, we don't have the Jersey Devil, or no, yeah, we don't have that. We have something else. It's like the God, I would have to find the book and send you it. Or
I do want to film the Bigfoot. I grew up in Washington, and we have the whole Bigfoot legend. I've always wanted to do a Bigfoot movie. Not Harry and the Hendersons, though. A little bit more, a little bit more oomph behind it. Not that that's a bad movie. When I was a kid, I liked that movie.
Oh, I've loved that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with Harry and the Hendersons. So.
Nope, for sure.
Yeah, I'll send you. I mean, I got a thing called, or if you want, since you were writing down stuff, look up a book if you want called The Vermont Monster Guide by Joseph.
Sounds pretty good.
And that will give you pretty much a basic idea of the monsters that we have.
Very cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. Thank you.
No problem. And I guess Beau is for anybody that wants to keep up to date with you with stuff and where we can find Desert Wolf. Even though actually, you know what? I don't know if it was recorded. I know we were talking about it off the air, but for those wondering too and haven't seen it yet, where can we keep up to date with you, and where can we find Desert Wolf to watch?
You can watch Desert Wolf on Amazon Prime. Just search good old Desert Wolf, and Vimeo on demand. I like Vimeo. It's a more independent artist focus, so you really help out the people on there. Also, you can go to lonegunslingerpictures.com and beauyotty.com, and we'll lead you to all the movie watching sites and that good stuff, and of course social media.
There you go. Well, Beau, thank you so much for your time, and I think it was a little bit better than last time because I think I was more, or I should say we, kind of. I mean, Tessa was mentioning she was sick, so last time when we were talking to you, but yeah, I mean, hopefully you didn't mind talking with us. It seemed like we were like almost all over the place, sort of. And Tessa was a little bit quiet, but she did come in a few times.
Well, it's not my fault if you think of everything I'm going to say.
Well, next time, just shut up, and I want to get a question in.
Like, okay.
We were talking too much.
Yeah, right.
Let me put in my 2 cents. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, next time, if Beau wants to come back on next year for his action film or his other horror film where he finally takes on a mutated human or something, I don't know. Maybe you do the host or something. That way, I'll just sit back, relax, and enjoy a beer or wine or something. Right.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Beau.
Thank you.
And for everybody listening, thank you so much for listening, and make sure you find your closest friend, go to like some type of cliff making out point, and make sure if there is a werewolf nearby, get out of the car and trip them and run the hell away or drive off, and then you will be the only survivor. And until next time, people, stay scary.